Hello, everyone. Izabella Ritz on Amazon Made Simple podcast. And as you know, we always drop some phenomenal and amazing tactics about Amazon. But today is not the day about Amazon. We all need some motivation and insane stories to put ourselves in the right mind sometimes, because we're so focused on what we're doing, and we're finding ourselves in a bubble, and we really need to look at other people, at what they're doing and how they're bringing their life to success. Today I have a guest that I met, I believe, back in 2019, when I went to one of the nail salon to do my manicure. This lady was a manicure master, and her sister was doing manicure as well. Today she is successful entrepreneur that is running her business, working with investors. And let's learn her story and find out how all this happened, because sometimes everything that happens for a reason, and just very small action can bring you to humongous monies and deals. Welcome, Victoria Hoa.
Hi, Isabel. Thank you so much for having me on this call. And I'm so encouraged to see your work and how you're helping people in the Amazon business too.
Awesome. Victoria, so tell me and other listeners too, how did you get from being manicure master, working in a nail salon, trying to make other people prettier,
Yeah,
to the entrepreneur that is making, I don't know, are you already at seven figures or you're not yet?
not yet. The
Not yet,
goal.
but that's
One
the
day.
goal. Yeah, but you definitely tripled, quadrupled your
Yeah,
salary that you've been
absolutely.
doing working for
Yes.
somebody. So
And
tell us what happened, where everything started, how did you get this idea, and how did you achieve how did
yes,
you achieve the goals that you have right now?
yes. So a lot has happened. I started off with actually I got when I was in college, I actually got a license to do I was a full specialist, meaning you can do skin and you can do manicures, you can do nail services. And that was my part-time job during college when I was going to school as well. So I grew up having multiple activities at the same time. So school and another type of school, so college and nail. And so I decided after college that during college, I wanted to actually work in diplomacy, and I want to go overseas, and I actually taught English. But I knew that I needed to come back to the States because that wasn't my full potential of what I wanted to do. And so when I transitioned back into the States, I realized that, it's actually real estate that I want to get into. And the reason why is because my mentor, when I was in youth group in church, she was actually a realtor, and she did such a great job. So many people raved about her, and they said she's so detailed. She cared about the clients, and actually, that was the type of relationships I want with people. It wasn't just about the business, but someone that is well respected, who does the work so well. And so when I came back to the States, I went back into doing nails because it was a source of income. But at the same time, I was actually going to school to get the real estate license. And when I did get the license, I actually couldn't sell right away because not anybody just trusts realtors when you just get your license. And so it took a while for me to train. But going back into the nail business, I actually really enjoyed it. I had it for about 10 years, the license, and it it built my customer service skills. I was able to talk to people. I was able to keep conversations going. I was able to talk about different products within the nail salon. And the
So
nail,
in between the moment you got the license to the moment you actually took an action, it's been about 10 years.
yeah, it was actually 10 years. I actually got the license when I was younger, but I transitioned. I was still finishing school. So it was 4 years of school, of university. And
Yeah.
then after I transitioned into wanting to um, go overseas and do like diplomacy work. And so I actually worked with the US consulate for a season. But then I also wanted to teach. So it was like a desire for international work. And actually,
Okay.
that plays a part in my story now with international
Yeah.
investors.
And this
so
is where, like, I want you guys to follow the small pieces, because you have to be so confident and treating well your thoughts, because your thoughts are unreal and real at the same time. When you're imagining something that is stopping you from taking an action or from something to do something in life, it might be uh, the signal to the universe. And on another hand, some thoughts that are making you feel scared of your life or whatever, those thoughts are not real. So here's some puzzles that I want you
yeah,
just to follow here.
yeah. There's definitely there's fears that can come up and prevent you from, like, why are you thinking that way? Why is there a desire for international work? And why not just stay local? Why have multiple jobs? Why do something at the same time when you can just focus on one? But I think like there is a desire that, is placed in our hearts for a reason. Like there's a desire to want to help do something bigger in life. And I think that was a transition back from teaching overseas English to the States to transition to real estate. Um, so yeah, I totally agree. So right now, so I guess I'll go back to the nail industry, how it was very detailed. And actually, I got to meet you in 2019. I came back 2018. So it was a year in the business, and I was actually training at the same time. So I was doing nails, and when I got calls, I would say, hey, I would talk to the boss, and she was so flexible. And I have to show a house or two. Can I come right back afterwards? So it wasn't like a whole day off from nails. And so I would go do my thing, show houses, write contracts in like the facial room, and then come back and then serve clients in the front of the salon. And yeah, I was balancing two businesses at the same time. And it actually worked out great because not one business will take off instantly. And so there's a season of like training. There's a season of like, you still have to have, I think to keep my sanity, I had to have another job where I was meeting people, talking, and still having a little bit of income coming in. Yeah. And so, and actually, that's how I met you because you were on the other side of the table while I was doing your nails, and I was telling you about just like my life. And I just loved how you were so professional and you were hardworking. And also, like, you were really into detail. I think that's how we connected. It's because of the details.
Yeah, because I was so picky about my nails. I'm like, listen, supposed to be this way, and I'm super picky, and I need somebody to take care of my nails super well.
Yes.
And I still am picky. Like, we just moved recently, and we moved to the great area, and I'm still looking for somebody who will be doing my nails here because all these
Wow.
people are not doing a good job. So I'm actually have to redo what I have right now.
Aw,
Anyway, paying attention to details. That's a great
yes.
thing to have in pretty much every single business and in life too. How you do anything is how you do everything.
Yes. And actually, that is so true. And people that are really into details, they are attracted to specific realtors or specific professionals who can actually give them that are really details on their work as well. And so with the real estate, there is so much detail already in the work, and then a lot of movements, a lot of variables that happen at the same time. So for instance, like when we're under contract, when we're looking for a property, like it could be quickly taken by another buyer. So as a realtor, I have to move quickly. I have to know how to talk to the other realtor. I have to get to the property quickly. I have to film it. I have to talk about it and give them all the details. Because sometimes online, what you see on the MLS or Zillow is not what you see in person. And so I get the privilege and the honor to um, kind of like ease them and actually inform them and educate my buyers. Yeah.
That's so great. So how did you transition from nail salon? Where happened this disconnect from this job?
Yeah, that's such a great question because I didn't know. I always wonder when is the right time to pull the plug from one job and just go full time with one job. And I think because I always had work coming in, and then it was actually a lot of doing two at the same time. There was a point where it actually I was starting to be less effective in one job because I needed to spend more time with my clients. I have to work around their hours when they got off from work to do their nails, But at the same time, I have a business that's starting to grow. And so I did have to make the executive decision. It was at the end of 2021 when I felt like, I'm wondering if real estate is still the route to go, because actually it started to get quiet. In the fall is when people go into holiday mode. And so actually that's the wrong time to want to sell a property, because people are going to like Thanksgiving gatherings and then they'll transition to Christmas. And so it's not the ideal time to have like a lot of business. But with my situation, I felt like God had a different plan for me. He was like, Victoria, I'm going to give you a lot of work. And so I remember getting to the car and just wondering, is this the right thing to do? It was on the coast. So I had friends that I met in South Korea when I was teaching English. They decided to ask to have me be their realtor. And so I was like, this is crazy to drive 2 hours to the coast and do this work. But I was like, no, I really love my friends. I'm going to help them. I'm going to do the research for them. And so I was driving to the coast every single week and just to show them the property. And I think when I took that initiative, when I took that step of faith of like pushing through something that was really hard instead of taking an easy job locally, that it gave me a sense of confidence. Like, wow, I can just keep going, pushing through. And I felt like after I took that deal, so many other deals came into place. And I had like a row of work that end of the year. So it was actually like closing
Where
after.
those deals been coming from?
Yeah. So when I started my business, when I started real estate in 2018, I put together a YouTube video. And the
This
YouTube
is where I was looking forward to hear today. Yeah.
Yeah, that YouTube video, the backstory is the sister Ema at the salon. She followed me around a model home filming me, and it was on her iPhone. We were kind of
Elizabeth, right?
Elizabeth.
Yeah.
And she's so creative. You know her
Yeah.
work. And so she's another detailed person that's filming. And so she's getting the right angles. And she's just walking me through the dining room, the office, into the kitchen, to the bathroom, and then in the master's bedroom. And I'm just like holding a cup from like the cabinet and just putting onto the bed and like, oh, this is my house. Hey, welcome. And I was just showing people around and telling them like, this is our house. This is the bedroom. If you're interested, please give me a call. And the thing that really got this video to get a lot of views was the language that I was speaking. So my family's from Cambodia. So my dad's from Chinese heritage, but then lived in Cambodia. And so the language I was speaking was actually Khmer. And that didn't circulate right away, but actually when I put the video online, I did get a call right away. Another Cambodian family from Georgia called me.
How did they find the video? Just like they've been Googling, researching on YouTube, or how did it happen?
Yeah, they were probably online. Actually, Facebook, I put it on Facebook. And then when I put it on YouTube, I also got some other calls too, but I think it's just putting the right captions on there. So putting Khmer, the Cambodian language, house tour. People love house tours. People from out of state can't be here, so they love to see things virtually. And so if you can give them visuals and you give them something they can look at, even if it's a model home, that's probably not what they want to buy. But they know that you're capable of showing them something like this. And so they have that confidence like, okay, she's local. She can show me around. She speaks my language. So there is like a trust that is developed. Mm-hmm.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So, and that video didn't actually launch right away. Like it didn't circulate as much, but at the end of 2019 or the end of it actually got some businesses throughout the year, but the end of 2021, there was an algorithm that took place. Like I felt like it recirculated a lot on YouTube. So there is something about when people watch and they like, and it starts to circulate,
Right.
that it starts to get in people's faces more. And so
You can be engaged with the videos in the past. For example, like if your video right now from 2019, and I will go on Google and find your video right now, and I will like this video. It's not just
yes,
I will start seeing more videos like this one, but
yes,
your video will be re-engaged and you will start getting more views again. You're
yes. And the crazy thing is that even if they watch the video now and they don't wanna do business with you right away, there is, like if it's a good video, they kinda remember it and they save it. And so I actually have clients now calling me about this video that they watched, like, 2 or 3 years ago. And so I was like, "Wait, you're calling me because of a video you watched 2 or 3 years ago?" But I think there was such a good impression on the video. And there's something when you have, like, a nice tone and you're welcoming, there is, like, a soft feeling that people kinda hold on to.
Hello everyone, Izabella Ritz and Amazon Made Simple. I want to make sure you're getting the biggest value as possible from my podcast and from every single video I put out there. Please make sure to subscribe to my newsletter that I am posting the link below this video, and you'll be always up to date with the product research, validation, and development. It's completely free, promotion free, pure value forever and ever. Awesome. Do you mind to share how many views did you get on this video that got you so many clients?
Yes, so actually it's not even a lot, but it's brought in so much money. I currently it's less than 19,000 views, but
Oh,
it
so
has
it's in thousands.
yes, yeah,
Okay.
and then
19,000 is a lot. This video
yes.
definitely cost a lot of money. Yeah, I can believe in that. It's not 19,000 reels and one like in reels because it's pretty much like the algorithm of Instagram and YouTube, they're so different. YouTube people are actually searching for the information. Instagram
Yes,
reel is popping up based on your interest. So sometimes people
yes,
just wait 2, 3 seconds. Yeah.
yeah. And actually, that's another great, business good form of marketing that I have not really touched are the reels. I know that gets lots of likes and gets into people's faces more. So I'm just talking about the basic original videos. This is very effective as well. Um, and that one has about like 263 likes. And so another thing that I've learned is that the video needs to go to specific places for the right niche of people. So I did pay to have it posted on somebody's Facebook, and that was a community of Cambodians. And so because my clients, a lot of the majority of them are Cambodians, I needed to make sure I was putting it to a place where they would see it. And so there's a community, a network. I would actually, hey, can you post this on there? And a one-time post would be good for like tracking where your video goes as well.
That's so awesome. That's such a proven strategy because, especially for those people that are bilingual, myself included, when I
Mhm.
was doing content initially, I was doing in Russian language.
Yeah.
And this is what brought us a lot of clients initially, where I was just putting out there the content. I didn't know what I'm doing. I didn't know why I'm doing. I was like, you know what? I just want to share this.
Yeah.
And especially when you're not cheesy, you're not trying to sell anything, and you're providing value on your language.
Mhm.
This is where people are starting following because they feel that that you care. And a
Yes.
lot of that, and that's a weird thing that a lot of people don't want to learn English. I still don't understand why. I don't have the answer on this
Yes.
question, but it's the same thing is happening with a lot of Hispanic people in US, Russians,
Yeah.
Ukrainians, anybody. They just
Yeah.
like they feel so comfortable that the community of the same language people created for them, like pretty much anything. Like they want realtors on their language, please. There,
Mhm.
here you are. They want nail people that speak in your language. There are plenty of them. You like you
Yes.
whatever you want. It's been created, so that's why people probably are being lazy. But at the same time, for people like you, it's a huge advantage because listen, here we are having international investors that
Yes.
they're that you're helping to. So how did you get to have this pretty much unstoppable flow from the of investors from Cambodia? The same video or something else?
Actually, it was the same video, but it was actually so now my work is shifting to, um, it's actually the younger generation that are on social media.
Really?
Yes. So I actually agree that there is there should be a emphasis on learning the language English, especially when you're here in the country. So a lot of my clients, because they do speak Cambodian, some of them do speak a lot of English, but they prefer having someone that's close, like they can trust in the language. But a lot of them are hardworking immigrants. They're from the first generation running away from the war in Cambodia, the genocide. And when they came to the States, like they're like gung ho, we're gonna make a living, we're gonna try to survive, we're gonna do things that are entrepreneur stuff, like having different works, and so they're super hardworking. So the language just seems to not be like a big emphasis or like a confidence that they have, but it's their kids, the second generation, that can speak it so well. And actually, they're the one that's helping their parents with the transactions as well. So
Nice.
they're looking for, hey, we're so busy with our work, mom and dad, so we're going to find a realtor that can speak your language. And so I end up working a lot with the parents, but then the kids come into play when it comes to technical work, like signing, like having reading over documents with their parents, showing their parents how to sign documents virtually, going over the steps and understanding the process of like from the time we sign documents to the time we close, what does that look like? And there's so many details. And so there's a benefit of having both together. And I think I lost your question. Sorry, I got caught up at this part.
No, you pretty much answered, because my question was, are the clients still coming from this video, or the way how you got to the international
Yes.
flow of clients is
Yes.
something else, but not just this video?
Yeah, it was the video. And if it definitely was the video. And actually, the video is probably in the past. So it's the kid that was looking, and then social media, and then that kind of connected me to the international investors. And they're not just doing one; they're doing multiple properties. And so, and at this point in my career, I'm starting to get repeat clients. And so the past clients that bought with me are coming back, and they're wanting to upgrade. They haven't downsides yet. They keep going up. We keep on getting bigger houses. So
Well, for
um,
you as a realtor, generally speaking, it doesn't matter, because you're getting paid per transaction, and it doesn't matter if they're downgrading, upgrading, sell. The moment they sell, it's your sell, or the
yes.
moment they purchase, that's your purchase. So here's another question: what is an average deal per transaction? Like, what is the amount of money people are usually investing? What's the comfortable amount? What is this bracket?
Yeah. You mean like when they're buying, how much they'll spend on that
Well, they're
property?
buying, selling,
Yeah.
both.
So let's say we're looking
So
for
just
a
keep in mind, people that are listening, they want to know how much you're making, because now they're projecting it to themselves and like, okay, if she's making, if she could do it, I can do it. And
yeah.
now they're being energized, and now they want to do the same thing. So that's why this question's coming.
Oh, how much am I making?
But I mean, like, based on the deal of the transaction, we can
Oh,
all
yeah.
calculate. Yeah. So
Yeah. So let's say you have a transaction for a $400,000 house. And let's say that's about a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, has a swimming pool. You are going to, so that property in Kissimmee, I'm actually going to do some calculations so I don't get it all mixed up here.
So it's about like, if they're paying an average 5 to 6% to realtors, you're having half, so you're making about $12,000 per transaction, right?
Yes, 12,000. And then I split that within my team, which I have an awesome team
Yeah,
that I don't go in alone. I go with a crew that helps with every part of it for the buyers too.
yeah,
And then if the buyers are going in and buying as well, they should consider uh, if they are just buying for the first time, they may qualify for like a first-time home buyer, which is about 3%, or they can do like conventional, which is 5% down. Um, so, and then they have their inspections that they want to look into as well. So, inspections, appraisals, surveys, about $1,000 as well. Yeah.
yeah. But you're not making anything from there, to my
Nope,
knowledge.
I'm
Yeah,
not.
it's
I'm not
just
making it. It's more. Yeah.
so.
Just
And so the average size of transaction is about 400, right? And some people are you've been mentioned that people are buying multiple houses at the same
Yes.
time.
Yeah. So the multiple houses that I've been helping, where it's ranging from 400 to 550,000. I think the last one's 510,000, and the other one before was about 360. So that is about the range. They were doing short-term rentals, investment homes in Kissimmee, and so and then they also want a specific HOA fee. So there was a lot of consideration for that
Yes.
price range. Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. And how many transactions are you making approximately per month?
At the moment, it's 2.
Okay.
I have 2 pending right now. I have 3 listings as well. So it depends whenever
So your
buyers.
listing agent, yeah, when your listing agent, that's the sweetest part.
Yeah, yeah. It is sweet to be the listing agent, but in this market, because of interest rates, sometimes it's a little bit harder to sell. And so, buying is definitely a lot easier in this market, which is
What is
crazy.
the interest rate right now?
It's a little bit over 7%.
Oh my god, then yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's still, like we're a little bit spoiled because if I will look at other countries,
Mhm.
US, even with like a little bit of over 7%, oh, yes, it's a lot. But for example, people in Eastern Europe, they're paying 18% or 21%,
That
which
is a
is
lot.
like, yeah, when you're like, oh no, I don't want to do 21%. So a little bit over 7 is fine.
Yeah.
And given like when I was doing my first car here in United States, I had to build my credit report. I paid 13.8% when I bought the car, and that was like wild, where people were buying cars at like 5% or 6%.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
anyway, this is where you just build the credit history. So what is your next step after you, like, right now you're at 2 to 4 transactions per month, and which brings you to the good 7 figure per year. So what is your next goal? Like, where are you going with that?
Yeah, so I'm actually pushing to get my own investment property in the future. And
Okay.
so I need to make a specific amount within my income. And so I would need to focus on the number of transactions this year.
Okay.
So that before is more of like whatever work comes in, I'll work on that. And it actually kept going. There's a flow, but it wasn't like consistent. But I'm looking for more of the consistency so that I can kind of better plan for next year. And so that would actually, it would probably look more 2 consistent transactions or 2 or 3 would probably help. But yeah, I'm looking to actually become an investor as well.
Okay,
Uh,
well, that's a very reasonable goal. So, how are you planning to maintain and grow amount of your transactions?
yeah, so I'm looking to do social media works, the videos work. So I'm actually going to go back into that field of advertisement. And the crazy thing is that that's free marketing. YouTube, I don't need to pay for it. So then I love actually editing videos. I love filming. That's something that I'm interested in, but I have to do it quickly or else like it's like, oh man, it's extra work.
Yeah,
Um,
I feel you.
like doing it's like simple, but then it's like, oh man, I have to like fix it up, make it look more advertising. So that's the part where I'll have to launch more and actually putting into the language as well. So English is my second language I learned in school. First language was the Cambodian language at home. But then as I went to school, I learned more English, spoke less of the Cambodian language. And so now I'm actually relearning Cambodian, the Khmer
Nice.
language. And so I think having it in the language and also putting subtitles. So I actually will have to have somebody help me with the subtitles because I know that this generation's it's more quick viewing. So I need to attract them quickly with subtitles or with something on the screen. Um,
In
another,
this case, by the way, you have to use AI.
Yeah.
There's like several options you can utilize, such as like Opus, I believe. I don't remember .com or .ai. Opus, and there are like some others, and it's not expensive. It's just I believe like $29 or something a month. And there is some others. One of them is Loom, where you can upload your video. And for example, you messed up something when you've been saying, and you want to fix what you said. So for example, you said this house is like built in 2019, but it's been built in 2013 or whatever. You can fix the sentence, and then the AI will fix your lips for this sentence.
That's
uh,
crazy. So you don't have to
yeah,
retake it.
and it's you can do it in Loom, and like it's really awesome. And this is how you can enhance on your videos. And right now you don't have to hire anybody. You just if you have your time. For example, I don't have my time for editing videos. I have my team to do that, so this
Mhm.
video will be edited by my team. But generally speaking, every single video you're creating by yourself, you can utilize AI, and then AI will be super helpful for this type of stories,
Yeah.
because all this, you can even pick the font, you can pick the emojis, you can pick the like the approach, how it will be like one word at the time when you're speaking, or it
Mm.
will be sentences so people can actually read, or it will be a cursor that will be following people based on like what you're saying.
Yeah.
So it's really really cool.
Yeah.
uh, so that's something that you can utilize in your things. So what will be your recommendation for those people that are listening to keep going with what they do, or to create something new if they're stuck?
Yeah, I think if they're stuck, I would say kind of sit back and wonder, kind of like think about what worked in the past and not discredit it. Because I think we're trying to always do something new and evolve, which is great too. It's always good to know what's happening in the field, like how is the business progressing. But if something worked really well, then you don't always have to recreate something. You can just bring it back and just kind of renew it. And so that can be something that's less stressful, but something that was natural in the past. Um, so I recommend that for sure. And then if you're stuck as well, I think getting out of the place where you're stuck. So if you're in an environment where it's not encouraging, you don't have people that are speaking life over you, you don't have just like you're kind of feeling down and depressed, you kind of have to kind of get yourself up and go to somewhere where you feel more encouraged. So, for instance, like I would go to downtown Winter Garden, and I actually love sitting there at the coffee shop, meeting other professionals, and just talking with them, and just going, "Oh wow, there's more than just what I'm doing. It's not just about real estate. It's not just about myself and my day right now because there's so many people going through other things, and there could be collaborations, and there could be um, you're kind of like getting like a aerial shot. And I think that requires you to actually get out of your comfort zone.
Yeah, you have to leave your bubble and go somewhere else to
Yeah.
get more inspiration and keep going. I fully agree with that. That's why I personally I'm going a lot to the conferences, and we're traveling, because this is where you're escaping from the bubble, and this is where you're like bringing yourself into the different type of life, and you're coming back, okay, and now I'm going to crush it, and I have a plan I have the
Yeah.
actions, and this is what everything is on. So I'm asking my listeners the question at the end of the podcast: if it will be just one thing that you will be able to do to the end of your life, what this thing would be?
Wow, that's a big question. So for me, I think with all the careers and different jobs I've done, I have transitioned from lots of jobs before, and then this one just feels right, and this is like the career that I'll just keep going until like God calls me out of it.
No, no,
Um,
what will be one thing, not professional, like anything that you can do, just one thing a day and every single day to the end of your life, what this thing
yeah,
will be?
for me, it has to be sitting in, like, the presence of God, just, like, waking up and just, like, sitting, like, "Thank you, God, for this day," like, having, like, this calm and this peace with the Lord so that it launches me out to, like, do other things. I think without it, it would be I would just be like a hamster on a rat wheel. And so for me, it has to be like one on one with God. And it's just like, wow, Lord, thank you. That
That's
gets
awesome. That will definitely resonate with a lot of people. Victoria, thank you so much for being here today. And it's very inspiring how like you created your journey. You're a great example of showing to others that everything is literally in your hands and everything you're manifesting will come together. And as I was mentioning, guys, that pay attention to the details, to the small pieces, because then when you are having thoughts on a daily basis, one day these thoughts are coming in the same picture into the puzzle is actually now leading you somewhere because there is no missed pieces. Victoria, thank you so much for being here today. That was really awesome.
Thank you, Izabella.